Today we are taking over Lazio from the Italian capital of Rome, as we are embarking on a quest to make this Lazio side the best of not only Italy, but Europe. Lazio have won only two titles in the Serie A. However, they've also won 8 in the Cup, the Coppa Italia. No European trophies, and that is going to change today. Having a little look at our squad, we certainly do have talents in Guendouzi, who is only 25, 82 rated already. I don't know why Provedel is not in that. He's 30 years old, 83 rated, one of the highest rated, along with Zaccagni, the captain, who is 29, Italian national team player. 83 rated. Dia is 27, however, out of position. Castellanos is an interesting striker up top. We might need to go in for a new cam. I don't know if any of those guys are going to be good enough. I'm using the gegenpressing style of play with Lazio. However, I haven't told you about the rule yet. One rule and one rule only. We must have a core of 5 Italian players at all times in this team, which is looking good with Pellegrini, Zaccagni on that left side. We have Lazzari, Rovella in midfield. However, he's only on loan to us. So those are 5 players, if I'm not mistaken. Romagnoli is also one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yes. We've only got around 21 million in our budget, which is not a lot, to be honest. Let's not forget that we've got the legendary Pedro on our books as well. He's now 76 rated at the age of 36. And so for the first signing, I'm going in for a very talented Italian cam. 18 years of age, only 69 rated, but we'll surely get his rating up. Talking about Simone Pafundi, who is joining us from Udinese for only 2.9 million. So, consequently, we are terminating Dele Bashiru's contract, who goes back to Turkey. We're also transfer listing Andre Anderson and loan listing this Cristo, Munoz and Belayan. We've sold both Matias Vecino to Villarreal for 15 million and El Seydisai for 3.8 to Fiorentina. So we have got a little bit of money again. Precisely 37 million to go into the market with. We have then gone on and signed one of the players that were on loan to us with our last scraps of money, really. We had to pay the entire amount. It is Nicolo Rovella joining us, 35 million. We had to splash on him. However, now we've got a very strong Italian in the midfield on a permanent, along with another Italian in Pafundi and Guendouzi, the Frenchman. Isaacs now want to give a chance to on the right midfield spot. Castellanos up top. Gila and Romagnoli in defense, they are not bad. Pellegrini at left back is also on loan, and Lazzari at right back is, of course, a permanent Lazio player with Provedel in net. I nearly forgot that he's also Italian. So now we've actually got 3, 4... we've got 5, 6, 7 Italians in the start 11. We have to have 5 at all times, remember. We've turned Rovella into a CDM. He's already gonna buy 1 immediately. We've even sold Bovadan Marusic, who is already 31, and Patrick, also 31, to Nottingham Forest for 19 million and Rayo Vallecano for 8 million, getting another 27 million. I wanted to go for Pellegrini at left back, but then I thought we already have 7 Italians in our squad. Doesn't hurt if we don't go for him. And so I went for the other lone player at our club. Now of Lazio, it is Nuno Tavares joining us from his loan move. 12 million he cost us to bring him in on a permanent. And so this is the squad we are going into season 1 with. Of course, Rovella and Tavares permanently here. Pafundi also coming in. I'm really excited to see what damage he can do in the first season itself. I've sold all the other cabs just to give him the game time. Of course, I nearly forgot we'll also be in the Europa League in season 1, and we finished in 6th position on 68 points. We scored 74, but we've also conceded 43, which was too much. In the end, 6th position, I think, is going to give us Conference League football. Napoli win Coppa Italia over Palermo. We've actually reached the semi-finals here before getting knocked out by Napoli 5-2. Benfica win the Champions League in season 1. That is crazy, over Liverpool. We've of course been in the Europa League, where we finished in 5th in the league phases, went straight to the round of 16, where we got knocked out by Rangers. That is not good. In the final, it is Spurs defeating our arch rivals Roma to win the Europa League. And finally, Betis win the Conference League over the Turkish outfit Trabzonspor. We are looking at 27 goals by Castellanos, 17 by Pafundi, who has grown to a 76 overall. That's crazy. At the age of 19, 14 goals and 5 assists for Isaksen. But it's not looking too bad, actually. Lazari hasn't grown. He will go down in overall. We might need to replace him next season. But otherwise, this is a fine-looking starting 11. No Champions League football is a bit of a failure, but then again, semi-finals of the Cup isn't bad, and round of 16 of the Europa League. We have to build on that in Season 2. At the end of Season 2, Pedro is going to retire. We will have around 73 million to go into the budget, into the market with, which is not too bad, honestly, compared to Season 1's budget. And so for around about 9 million, we've signed a very talented Italian right-back, only 20 years of age. Coming in from Fiorentina for 9 million, it is Michael Caglione. We've even sold the likes of Daniel Akbak-Pro and Manuel Lazzari for 25 million. We got 25 for 31-year-old. We have got a lot of money, but I don't really see where we should put that. Zaccagni is 30, he will get replaced in the future. We've also got Romagnoli the same. Provedel is 31, but he's also 84 rated, so I think Caglione is going to be the only transfer we make in Season 2. We will, by the way, be playing Europa League football. What's happening, guys? What is happening? We have won the league in Season 2, but what is even crazier is that 4 teams are on 83 points. Lazio, Inter, Milan and Roma all on 83 points. I've never seen anything like it. All 4 have 26 wins, 5 draws and 7 losses. Never seen anything like it. Wow. Even reached the final of Coppa Italia, but losing just about on penalties to Inter. Man City win the Champions League over Milan. We've of course once again been in the Europa League, where we reached 10th place in the league phase, went to the playoff where we defeat Rangers 4-2. We then go on and defeat Kiev 6-2. Quarterfinals we even defeat Wolfsburg 4-1 on aggregate. To face Arsenal, who beat us on penalties. That is cruel. In the end, an English final that gets won by Newcastle United over Arsenal. And finally, the Conference League goes to Frankfurt over Atalanta. I still can't get over the fact that we've won the league, but also won it on goal difference on 83 points. 4 teams on 83 points is crazy. Incredible season from Tati Castellanos. 42 goals and 8 assists, 50 contributions in 57 games is crazy. 25 and 16 for Isaksen, 24 and 9 for Zaccagni, and even 15 and 18 for Pafundi, who has grown to an 83 overall. A nearly perfect season, first in the league, runner-up of the cup, and semi-finalist, losing on penalties to Arsenal. That is a successful season if I ever saw one. So at the start of Season 3, we go in for a very big player. An Italian centre-back replacing Romagnoli in the starting 11 in a swap deal effectively. Coming in is Giorgio Scalvini from Manchester City in this save for 8 million plus Romagnoli. We are now, of course, a Champions League club, so we can make signings like this one. In terms of overall, we have weakened the side, but Scalvini is only 22 years old, a man for the future, also Italian, so very good for that contingency. We've got Caglione, by the way, who is also Italian. 2 players in defense right now, Scalvini and Caglione. Rovella in midfield, and then Pafundi in the 10 position, Zaccagni on left midfield. Those are the 5, and the 6th one even in Provedel, who is also maybe on the chopping blocks, maybe not, because he's still 85 rated. I got a little bit shocked when I saw that Nuno Tavares has been sold to Liverpool. I think he had a release clause or something. 65 million for a 26-year-old, 83 rated left back. So we'll need to replace our Portuguese Tavares left back. To replace him, we've found a left back on the bench of PSG, stuck behind Alejandro Balde. We're still about 7 ratings higher and only 3 years older. That's why we've gone in for the Dutch fullback Jorel Hato left back. 45 million he cost us from the French league. He's slotting in perfectly on that left-back spot, right beside Scalvini. Both of those are the future of this football club. Zaccani is also 31, Provedel 32, but we are going to spare them this season. We've invested heavily, especially in Hato. As we are the champions, we'll of course also be in the Champions League. I love in the league. 6th place, 44 points, only 6 points though behind Milan in first, so everything's still open, really. Again, such a tight title race up to until Bologna in 8th. Everyone is still kind of in a title race. On the other hand, we have done really well in the Champions League phase. 15 points on the board, 4 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss, 8th place, which means we skip the playoffs and go straight to the round of 16. Of course, we finish in the top 8 of the league phase and have to face Manchester City right away in the round of 16, away from home, and we lose 3-1. I mean, that was expected. They've even got Dybala in their team and Frimpong. Let's see how things turn out in the second leg. We are 3-1 down and draw the second game 2-2. At least we don't lose, but on aggregate, of course, we are still out 5-3. At the end of the season, we have made it back up into 3rd position. 78 points, 24 wins, 6 draws, 8 losses. Milan are the champions, and we are 4 points ahead of Inter in 4th. 3 points behind Juventus in 2nd. We did participate in the Super Cup where we got knocked out by Milan in the semis, and in the end it is Milan defeating our rivals, Roma. Milan also win the Coppa Italia over Torino. We have made the quarters before getting knocked out by Napoli. The Champions League goes to PSG over Manchester City. Arsenal win the Europa League over Dinamo Kiev. And Juventus the Conference League over Rayo from Spain. 25 goals for Isak and 21 for Castellanos are our best numbers. They have grown massively, both of those. Pafundi up to an 88 overall is crazy, 19 goals again. We couldn't defend our league title in Serie A, but at least character building activities in the Champions League. Round of 16 against Manchester City, getting knocked out. Maybe that can change in season 4. I'm not even sure if we need to change anything in the starting 11. Maybe Zaccani, who will go out, but I'm not even sure because he's still 86 rated. Otherwise, Gila is 86 rated, Scalvini only 23, Coyote only 22, Hato is now, has been upgraded to potential to be special, so a lot of growth still for him to be had. Otherwise, Castellanos is a superstar, Pafundi is a superstar, CDMs are perfect, right midfielder is good. We have got a new option at left back, bringing him in from the Premier League, contract expiring, only 23 years of age. It is Roman Vega joining us for 8.6 million, a bargain from Wolves. The highest profile player we've brought in so far is for in between the sticks. Provedel is going down from now on, he's 86 rated. We have managed to bring in another Italian who is even higher rated and much younger. Of course, we had to splash the cash, bring 50 million onto the table, plus Ivan Provedel to bring in Marco Carnesecchi from Brentford of all clubs. What's he doing there? I don't know. We've still about 113 million in the budget. We can replace Matteo Zaccani. Granted, Matteo Zaccani has gone to Napoli, but they were willing to pay 100 million for a 32-year-old whose market value was around 64 million. Crazy stuff. At the start, I wanted to bring in someone like Ben Seguir or even Moleiro, the Spaniard, but then I thought, why not go in for one of the very best? We had about over 200 million in the bank, so we went in for an absolute gem. He was surprisingly still playing at Athletic Club. It is Nico Williams joining us for a record fee in Italian football, 140 million. Even though he's Spanish, he's slotting in perfectly in that left midfield spot. We've still got 5 Italians, I made sure. Rovella, Pafundi. We've got, of course, Carnesecchi who came in, Scalvini and Coyote at right back. 5 Italians as per rule. Bringing in 2 crazy players like Carnesecchi and Williams is, of course, very, very big for our season. They are only 27 and 25. Now, certainly going to give their all for this journey. And okay, boys, things are going really well in Serie A here in Season 4. First place, 57 points, 8 points clear of Roma, our rivals in second. Even in the Champions League, we've gone undefeated in the league phase. 5 wins, 3 draws, 0 losses. On 5th place, 18 points. Yet again, we had to get a top club in the round of 16, PSG. As if we wouldn't have been able to get another club. But oh well, let's not complain. Let's play the game. 1-1. Castellanos scores for us. Foden for PSG. Let's go for the return leg. At home at the Stadio Olimpico, and it's a 2-1 win after 120 minutes. We have defeated them. Cristo Munoz, who is a backup player, came on for Pafundi. Rovella and himself turned the game around. 3-2 on aggregate. We defeat PSG. It is quarter-final time. We are facing Dortmund away from home. In the first leg, let's see how things turn out. It's a 2-2 draw. Williams saves us before, after Anthony got a goal for Dortmund in the 73rd minute. The Goats. I mean, it's always difficult to defeat a goat. Once again, we go into the second leg, all square. At the Stadio Olimpico, it's a 3-1 win. Pafundi, Gila, the centre-back, and Castellanos, the striker. All go on to the score sheet. 5-3 on aggregate. We are in the semis. Semi-finals, it's another German club, however, this time first leg at home at the Stadio Olimpico against Bayern Munich with our full-strength starting 11. It's a 1-1 draw. Xerxes with the equaliser after Castellanos gave us the lead. Can we go and upset the Bavarians of Bayern in the second leg? Away from home and make it to the final? Yes, Guendouzi, and Isaks. And Guendouzi turned into Prima 9 in this game. A brace for him and Isaksen with the other one. 4-2, we prevail and go to the Champions League final. And we will be facing Arsenal of all clubs in the Champions League final. They don't win Champions Leagues. We should be fine. We do win Serie A for the second time in this rebuild. We've made Lazio the Italian powerhouse. 91 points, only 3 defeats all season long. We have just about lost out on the Super Cup though, defeated by Juventus on penalties. On the other hand, we have won Coppa Italia, absolutely trashing Inter 4-1 in the final. Now this is the team that made it happen. 36 goals for Castellanos, absolutely crazy. 20 goals in Serie A, 9 in the Champions League. 27 and 18 for Pafundi, 13 goals for Isaksen, and even 13 and 19 for Williams. Now it is time for Arena of Schalke in Germany. Lazio against Arsenal. Great tackle by Guendouzi, our midfield maestro, going forwards towards the penalty box, passing it into Castellanos, and the first big save by Perry. Guendouzi gets so many balls back. We haven't seen a lot of Nico Williams. Here he is. Williams waiting for Hato. Nicely played in. Hato. Here's Rodrigo, who's playing for Arsenal on that right wing. Playing it into John Duran. Great interception though. Double interception. Somehow we keep it away. Here come Arsenal, straight away from kickoff in the second half. Rodrigo! Somehow, some way, Hato was in the way and Carnesecchi gets it. Here's Williams, turning around himself now, sending away Castellanos. Pafundi sending away Castellanos, who makes it 1-0 on one end. Arsenal had the big chance to go ahead. Now we take it. Valentin Castellanos. He's Spaniard taking the lead here for Lazio in the Champions League final. I'm sorry, in fact he's Argentinian, not Spanish, Castellanos. Here's Nico Williams now with a lot of space. Nico Williams turning everyone going all by himself. He couldn't chip the keeper in time there. Again, this time Scalvini with the interception now. Rovella into Castellanos for the brace. That is it. We catch Arsenal cold for the second time in the second half. And auf Schalke in Germany, we are 2-0 to the goods. Look at this pass here. Again, Castellanos waiting. Clearly not offside. Striking yet another one into the back of the net. We're also now making a couple of changes. Vega comes on for Hato, who is on a yellow card. Casale coming on for Scalvini, who is quite tired. Rovella for Williams. Williams back to Vega, who looks for Castellanos. He couldn't score his third. but we will win the treble with Lazio as the game is over. Lazio 2, Arsenal 0. We've won absolutely everything apart from the Supercoppa in this rebuild. Twice the Serie A, once Coppa Italia, once the Champions League, of course, fulfilling that elusive treble. 2 goals by Castellanos in the second half. And we've absolutely dominated this final. We hadn't faced a lot of opportunities by Arsenal. Could have scored a few more ourselves, but I am absolutely satisfied with how things went. Within 4 seasons we've made Lazio the best club, not only in Italy, but in Europe. But lads, I'm going to say goodbye. I will leave you alone with the title celebrations here. Lazio lifting the trophy. Our captain, the captain of this football club in season 4, Mario Rila, he is going to lift the Champions League trophy. I'm going to say again goodbye. Until next time, I will see you again in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your day. It's been Rebuild Sombrero. I'm out. Oh, and guys, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as always.